Martell is back in court, and this time it's over something that happened during Halloween. Fans and critics alike are buzzing with questions. What could have possibly gone wrong at what was supposed to be a fun night? Halloween is usually a time for costumes, jokes and spooky fun, but for Martell, one moment turned everything upside down. Rumours are spreading fast online, with people asking whether this incident could actually damage his reputation. Today we're going to break down exactly what happened, why it has landed him in court again, and how one night of Halloween fun might have big consequences for him. Stick around, because this story is full of twists, unexpected turns and a drama you won't want to miss. Martell is no stranger to the spotlight. Over the years, he has built a huge following online, known for his bold personality, daring stunts and sometimes controversial behaviour. But fame often comes with its own set of challenges. In the past, he has faced a few legal troubles and court cases that kept fans and critics talking. This, again in court, is not his first brush with legal issues, which makes this latest incident even more intriguing. Now let's set the scene for the Halloween night that changed everything. It was supposed to be a fun, casual event, a costume party with friends and fans filled with laughter, decorations and playful scares. Martell, being Martell, decided to go a bit over the top, as he often does. He planned a bold stunt that he thought would be funny and memorable, never imagining that it could lead to real consequences. What seemed like a harmless moment in the spirit of Halloween started to spiral out of control, and soon after, the night became a story everyone was talking about online. Comments and social media posts began to appear almost immediately, some laughing along with him, while others criticised and questioned whether he had crossed a line. This is where the tension begins. Martell's reputation as someone who pushes boundaries was now at risk. What happened on that Halloween night, which he thought would just be another viral moment, ended up being the spark that could lead to legal trouble. The Halloween night started like any other. Decorations were up, music was playing, and guests were enjoying themselves. Martell, true to his bold personality, had prepared a costume stunt that he thought would make the party unforgettable. But what he saw as harmless fun quickly took a turn he didn't expect. In the middle of the night, he performed a prank involving a fake scary scenario that was meant to shock his friends and capture it on video. Unfortunately, one of the guests misinterpreted the prank and ended up feeling threatened. What was meant to be laughter and excitement became a tense situation almost immediately. As the night went on, videos and photos of the stunt started circulating on social media. Within hours, people began commenting, some laughing at the bold move, but many criticising him for going too far. The comments weren't just casual opinions. Some viewers claimed that the stunt could have caused emotional distress, and others started tagging authorities, questioning whether anything illegal had happened. Martell's name started trending, but not in the way he had hoped. Fans were divided. Some defended him, saying it was just a prank, while critics argued that he had crossed a line. The prank itself became the centre of attention. And suddenly, Martell realised that what he thought would be a funny, harmless moment could actually have serious consequences. This incident, which at first seemed small, was now escalating into a potential legal issue. Messages from lawyers, concerned friends, and even some event organisers began arriving the next day, signalling that this Halloween moment was no longer just a party story. It was turning into a full-blown conflict that could land him back in court. The Halloween night started perfectly, with guests arriving in creative costumes, lights flickering, and a playlist of spooky songs setting the mood. Martell, known for his bold personality, wanted to make the night unforgettable. He had prepared a costume stunt that he believed would be funny and memorable, something that would get everyone talking for days. The idea seemed harmless, a staged haunted house corner with actors, props, and a few jump scares. But as the night went on, the stunt began to go off script. At one point, Martell decided to increase the scare factor, thinking it would make the prank more exciting. He set up a scenario where a fake masked figure would jump out at a small group of guests while cameras recorded everything. Most guests laughed and screamed in fun, but one guest misunderstood the situation entirely. This person panicked, thinking it was real, and tried to flee, bumping into decorations, knocking over some props, and even causing minor damage to the venue. The prank, which was meant to entertain, had now created a tense, chaotic situation. Immediately, whispers and murmurs started among the guests. Some laughed nervously, thinking it was part of the Halloween fun, while others grew uncomfortable, unsure whether the prank had crossed a line. Within the next few hours, photos and short videos from the prank started circulating on social media. At first, people found it funny, but soon criticism emerged. Some viewers called it reckless, claiming it could have caused emotional harm. Others tagged local authorities, questioning whether Martell had overstepped legal boundaries. Martell realised that what seemed like a harmless prank had escalated quickly. His attempt at a bold, fun stunt was now the centre of attention for all the wrong reasons. He had unintentionally created a conflict not only with the guest who felt threatened, but also with social media audiences and possibly the law. By the end of the night, the atmosphere had completely shifted. The laughter and fun had been replaced with tension, uncertainty, and a growing sense that this Halloween night might have consequences far bigger than Martell ever imagined. This was the moment when a single, playful idea became a full-blown conflict. A simple joke had spiralled into a situation that could affect Martell personally, professionally, and legally. The incident had turned from a small party mishap into a story that would follow him well beyond Halloween. The fallout from that Halloween night hit faster than anyone expected. Within days, Martell found himself receiving formal notices and letters from lawyers hinting at potential legal trouble. What started as a playful stunt was now being investigated for possible civil and public disturbance claims. The guest, who felt threatened during the prank, had reportedly contacted authorities, and social media posts were being used as evidence of the incident. Suddenly, a night meant for fun had turned into a serious legal headache. Martell's team quickly realised the situation was serious. Public opinion was split, with some fans defending him, insisting it was just a harmless prank, while others criticised him for being careless and irresponsible. News outlets picked up the story, running headlines that amplified the tension, showing clips from the Halloween night and speculating about potential charges. Martell himself issued a statement online trying to explain his side, emphasising that the stunt was never meant to harm anyone. But even with his explanation, the court heat was real. As the case moved closer to an official hearing, the stakes kept rising. Legal experts and commentators weighed in, analysing whether Martell could face fines, mandatory community service, or other consequences. Every message, post and comment online added pressure, making it clear that this incident wasn't just a simple mistake. It was a full-blown controversy that had the potential to affect his public image, his career, and even his personal life. The Halloween prank had unexpectedly grown into a story with serious implications, and now everyone was waiting to see how the court would respond. The tension reached its peak as the court date approached. Martell had been preparing with his legal team, reviewing statements, social media posts, and videos from that fateful Halloween night. Every new clip uploaded online seemed to add fuel to the fire. Fans were divided. Some stayed loyal, defending Martell passionately, while others relentlessly criticised him, making viral threads dissecting every second of the prank. When the hearing finally began, the courtroom was packed with curiosity-driven media and concerned attendees. The guests who felt threatened during the prank gave their testimony, describing the fear and confusion they experienced. Meanwhile, Martell sat quietly, listening intently as his lawyer presented evidence of the prank's harmless intention, emphasising that it was meant purely for fun and never meant to cause real harm. But then came the twist. A short clip not previously noticed surfaced, showing Martell unintentionally knocking over a decoration that almost caused a minor injury. The room fell silent. What had seemed like a simple misunderstanding now had a tangible moment of potential danger. This clip became the turning point, putting Martell's intentions and judgment under intense scrutiny. Everyone watching could feel the tension in the courtroom. One wrong decision or statement could dramatically affect the outcome. At this moment, Martell realised the gravity of the situation. The prank that had started as harmless fun had now escalated into a serious legal matter, challenging not only his judgment but also his public image. The courtroom drama was tense. Every word weighted with potential consequences, and it became clear that this Halloween night might have consequences far beyond what anyone had imagined. The climax wasn't just about the court, it was about the fine line between fun and recklessness, and how one moment can completely change the story. As the courtroom doors closed, the atmosphere was electric with tension. Cameras flashed, reporters whispered, and social media feeds buzzed with updates from outside. Martell sat at the defendant's table, a mix of nervous energy and focus in his eyes. What had been a fun Halloween prank was now the centre of a courtroom drama that could impact his reputation, his career, and even his personal life. Every step, every word he spoke could tip the balance. The guest who had felt threatened during the prank was called to testify first. Their voice, calm but firm, described the moment they had genuinely feared for their safety. They detailed how the masked figure had jumped out, how they had panicked, and how the small chaos had unfolded. Even though it had been an accident, their words carried weight, painting a picture that made everyone in the room pause. The judge listened closely, nodding as the testimony unfolded, and the audience could feel the stakes rising with every sentence. Then Martell's lawyer presented counter-evidence, including clips showing the prank in context, the playful setup, the staged reactions, and the fact that the prank had been intended purely for entertainment. It was clear that Martell had not meant any harm, but just as it seemed that the case might lean in his favour, a short, previously unnoticed clip surfaced. In it, Martell accidentally knocked over a prop decoration, which narrowly missed hitting one of the guests. The courtroom gasped silently. The clip added a new layer of tension, suggesting that even well-intentioned pranks could have unintended consequences. Martell leaned forward, listening intently as the judge and lawyers debated the implications of this clip. The tension in the room was palpable as everyone realised this moment might decide whether Martell walked out with his reputation intact or faced serious repercussions. Outside the courtroom, social media was exploding. Fans were defending him passionately. Critics were dissecting every second of the video, and the story was trending worldwide. After hours of tense discussion, the courtroom drama finally reached a pause. The judge had listened to all sides, reviewed the evidence, and acknowledged the prank's context and intent. While no immediate verdict was announced, it was clear that Martell had managed to show that the stunt was never meant to cause real harm. The tension in the room slowly eased, but the story was far from over. Martell stepped out of the courtroom looking relieved but contemplative, realising how a single night of fun could spiral into something much bigger than anyone expected. Outside, social media buzzed with speculation. Some celebrated Martell's apparent luck, others debated the ethical lines of pranks, and many shared their opinions on what could happen next. For viewers, the story ended with a cliffhanger. The outcome of this legal drama was still uncertain, leaving everyone curious about what the next chapter might hold. This incident serves as a reminder that even the boldest, most playful moments can have real-world consequences. For Martell, Halloween night became more than just a party. It became a turning point, a lesson in responsibility, and a story that fans will talk about for a long time. And while we don't yet know the final outcome, one thing is certain: the drama isn't over, and the world will be watching to see what happens next. After what felt like hours of intense courtroom tension, the hearing finally came to a temporary pause. The judge had carefully listened to every piece of testimony, examined all the evidence, and weighed both sides of the argument. While no final verdict was delivered that day, it was evident that Martell had managed to demonstrate that his Halloween stunt had been intended purely as entertainment. His team emphasised that there was no real threat, only a playful joke gone slightly wrong. For Martell, it was a moment of relief, but also a sobering reminder of how quickly things can spiral out of control. Stepping out of the courthouse, Martell faced a swarm of reporters and cameras. Flashbulbs popped incessantly as he answered a few brief questions, carefully choosing his words. He expressed regret for the misunderstanding and clarified that he never wanted to harm anyone. At the same time, he subtly hinted that he had learned a lesson about responsibility and the power of perception. The atmosphere was tense, yet slightly lighter than before. The immediate pressure had eased, but the larger outcome still hung in the balance. Meanwhile, outside the courtroom and online, reactions were explosive. Social media feeds were flooded with clips of the Halloween night, courtroom footage, and discussions about the prank's implications. Some fans praised Martell for handling the situation maturely, while critics debated the limits of pranks and accountability. The story had gone beyond a personal incident. It had become a topic of public conversation, trending worldwide. For viewers, the story closed with a perfect cliffhanger. The immediate threat was over, but the final legal decision remained uncertain. It left everyone asking, what will happen next? The resolution served as both a moment of relief and a teaser, hinting at potential consequences that could unfold in the future. Ultimately, this Halloween night became more than a simple party. It became a defining moment for Martell. It was a story of fun turned tense, a reminder of the delicate line between entertainment and responsibility, and a narrative that would keep audiences intrigued and invested. For fans and followers, it was a lesson wrapped in suspense, leaving them eager to see the next chapter in Martell's story.